Mr. David Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. In supporting what I believe is this a very important motion, I declare an interest and, of course, membership of the Orange Institution, the Royal Black Institution, and also a member of the Prentice Boys of Londonderry. And my family have been associated with those organisations well over 100 years. I'm very proud of that fact. I'm not that old, no. I am, and the centrality of parading in Northern Ireland is not always fully appreciated or understood on the mainland. Whatever view one holds of Ulster's parading tradition, this motion raises some fundamental points of principle which go to the heart of democracy. It has been famously said, "I do not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." I'm not asking everyone to share the importance attached to parading by many in Ulster, including myself, but to defend the basic right to assemble and to process freely must surely always be the default position. Assembly and procession is a human right long fought for and hard won. In particular, a nation such as this, at a time such as this, when we remember the sacrifice of those numbered in their millions who fell in defence of basic freedoms, a nation such as we ought, above all others, defend and cherish those basic rights and freedoms. Indeed, I would go further. In this freedom if this freedom is to be denied, then those who would deny it must present a cast iron case for that denial. But that has not happened in Northern Ireland. The right to assemble and process the streets of Ulster has been challenged by so-called residents' groups. These groups were spawned largely by Sinn Féin. This was not done out of a sense of offence, but for purely political reasons and purely political advantage. This has even been claimed by Gerry Adams, my right honourable friend from East Belfast, outlined the prime-time programme on RTE in 1997. I will refer to a brief part of it where it says 3 years of work went into the creation that situation, and fair play to those people who put the work in. They are the type of scene changes that we have to focus on and develop, and the key word is "and exploit." So, disputes around parades are not only about offence, nor about triumphalism. They are not about the intimidation. They are about a cynical manoeuvre by Sinn Féin to increase their political support. The history of this has also proved to be the case. Sinn Féin has been quite prepared to use the parading issue as a tool in their overall strategy. When it suits them, they diffuse tension and reduce open opposition to loyal order marches. On the other hand, they can also ratchet up tension when it suits them also. Can I ask the House, how does this help to build confidence? Wouldn't a permanent end to the Republican cultural war against the loyal orders greatly help the creation of that confidence? Gerry Adams has said recently that there will be a place for the loyal orders in a united Ireland. How gracious of him. Yet, he is the very same person who has opposed their legitimate place in Northern Ireland right up to this point. Sadly, the law enforcement authorities have been tainted with the same sort of attitude. The concerns of politically motivated residents' groups are treated on a par with those of the loyal orders. As a result, the right of British citizens to assemble and parade is denied, often on very spurious grounds. In my own constituency of Upper Bann, we have one of the most infamous examples of this. Portadown Orange men, seeking to return from their annual service at Drumcree Parish Church, have been unable to do so for well over a decade. And I have to say, Mr. Deputy Speaker, this parade has been taking place for well over 150 years. Well over 150 years. And it has to be said, the Northern Ireland Parades Commission repeatedly calls for local agreement to be reached in these sort of situations. Now, the Ashdown Review of Parading also places great emphasis on dialogue and mediation. The local Orange District has agreed to enter dialogue without any preconditions. One person continues to prevent that from taking place, and that's Mr. Brendan McKenna of the local residents group.